Good afternoon and welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. And it's Business Thursday, Thursday's businesses. Anyways, it's going to be Thursdays. I'm going to bring a different Canadian company to look at and examine. And these are companies, like I said before, generally speaking, that you can actually go online and order them. But I can't do allergic stupidity without starting with allergic reactions to stupidity. So as you all know, I am a teacher. And there's a teacher in either Idaho or Illinois who has been pulled up in front of her district because of a sign in her classroom. Because they said the sign is a personal opinion and she's not allowed to have personal opinions on decorations on the wall. And what is that sign? It is literally a sign I've seen in my 44 years of teaching that's like about 4 feet long. It's got different colored hands with a heart in the middle of the hand that says, "Everyone's welcomed." That's the whole sign. And she was told bluntly to get it off the wall by the end of the day. She took it off and then she put it back up. And now her district is saying they'll discuss it by the end of the year about whether or not she has a teaching job there in the fall. Allergic reaction, because my brain is just imploding. She had another one. I can't remember what it said, but it basically is just like everybody's welcome. And it had different colors. And she said, I'm an advocate for the LGBTQ community, but I don't fly it because the flag because it makes too many people upset. But it was just acceptance and inclusion, and she's not allowed to have it in her room. Allergic reaction. So that's my allergic reaction to stupidity, my allergic reaction for today. Now on to Canadian business. Spring is coming, and this was somebody in the comments sent it to me, so I'm sending it on to you. And when I saw it, I went like, why didn't I think about this one? And it's Lee Valley. Lee Valley was started in 1978. We're going to get to its website in a minute. And it's high-end gardening stuff. It's absolutely fantastic, and it will ship it to you. Now, fortunately, I've got one down the road, so I can just go in store so I can actually see it. Let me get it for you. All about it. And I got smart this time, and we're going to start with the about us page. There we go. Started in 1978, family-owned business, serving people from all around the world. And it starts with woodworking. That's what they started out with. There's the founder. Just go to leevalley.com and then you can click on it and listen to his video about himself. There we go. Now, I have an extra in thing here because my son actually worked for the local Lee Valley for a couple of years, about 15 years ago. Doesn't matter. And they always make sure that somebody on site is knowledgeable about whatever information. So if you go to the gardening section, they will literally have somebody there that knows what they're talking about for gardening. When you go to woodworking, there's somebody there who knows what they're talking about with woodworking. So whether it's like he just says, whether it's in our stores or online, they strive to anticipate and understand the challenges you're facing, like literally right there, right, guys? And he said it was really nice because if he had a customer come to him and say, this is my problem, what's the best tool, then he'll say, give me a minute, I'll go get the expert. And he would go get that person in that store that knew what they were talking about. Yeah, it's retail, there's no commission. So here we go. Let's look at, since the season is coming, guys. So we've got books and plants, composting, container gardening. You see everything that's there, right? For me this year, it's going to be container gardening as I expand and read. Now, with the big push to buy Canadian these days, we have to accept the fact that I am supporting Lee Valley, which is a 100% Canadian company, but they may be getting their stuff from the States. And we do push that we buy 100% Canadian. We all do, most of us. But we also have to accept the fact that sometimes the stuff they're getting is not from Canada. and it does come from the States. So not quite Lee Valley, but if you buy a Canadian coffee, like Kicking Horse Pass Coffee, which is out of BC, or Jumping Beans out of Newfoundland, well, we don't grow coffee here in Canada. We just bring it in from wherever and process it here. So we're supporting a Canadian company, but the coffee beans are coming from somewhere else because obviously we don't grow coffee here. And the same thing for anybody in the US. The only state that grows coffee beans at all is a very small area of Hawaii. So yes, you can get American coffee grown in the United States. What I've heard, it's supposed to be very expensive, but okay. So anyways, these are container gardens. I've used these. Now, I did not get mine from Lee Valley. I got mine from a local nursery. They work really well. Nice part is at the end, I give them a really good wash in my laundry room and sink and make sure everything is killed before I use them again, just in case there's fungus or some little buggy growing in it. Okay. So why I made my point here is that I have certain containers that I like that are actually, I get them from Rona, but they're not made in Canada. So, okay. So let's go. We won't worry about books. You guys can do that. Plant protection. This one is one I will be looking at, and I will run down to Lee Valley, my Lee Valley, to see what they've got, because I have my little tiny, they're about this big now, russet apple trees that I would like to get out, but I want to protect them because of the little bunny rabbits in the area that just think everything's so good to eat. Okay. There we go. Frost protectors, that would be great for your tomatoes. Anyways, there we go. Shade cloths, I've got those. I did get mine from Lee Valley. Weed suppression, boy, could I use those in my house, my place. Because do remember, I have said I'm rejuvenating an old garden, which is rejuvenation of an older garden. So do I have a few weeds? Oh God, yes. So right now, this last year, I put down old plywood from my garage roof, which had to be replaced. And I just put it on top because it's wood. It's going to biodegrade. But in the meantime, it's killing the weeds underneath it. Okay. So there's some ideas. Might need that for one of my apple trees. There we go. Now, tools, this is the other one. If you guys, people are into, this is under tools, hand tools, instrument making. Okay. Planes, scrapers. Really, this is, like I've said, for the whiffle tree, that nursery I was telling you about before. This is one of these, make yourself a nice cup of coffee, curl up with your tablet or your computer, or your laptop, and take your time. Just make sure there's no distractions and you can just enjoy and look under for the things that you are looking for. Okay. They have definitely expanded, like obviously since they started with. Okay. Now this is, they have other things too. Bakeware, composting. Well, my compost is let's feed the raccoons out back. I've said that before. But there's other ideas that they've really, really expanded. Look, and you can look per page. Oh, okay. Hardware, chest hardware, like I said, you need to just curl up with a good cup of coffee and sit here and do this, because it is literally the only way to do this. Home, office. Now, I don't know where I'm going to find it, but seeing that picture reminds me, they had kits where you could carve out pens where like good old hand pens where you replace the cartridge in the inside. I have a couple. My son made me one for pen and one for pencil, and you just go back to them to get new. Okay. Well, games and activities. They always have some really cool stuff here. I keep thinking. Okay. Any of us old enough to remember those from being little people? I remember those. Okay. Lots of things. It's really cool and it's expanded so nice and um in so many ways, but everything's very family oriented. It's great. So there's one I remember as a kid. I keep thinking I should get one for my kids in the house, but then I put the price tag. Anyways, there you go. I just thought this was somebody had sent it to me, and I had gone, how did I ever forget it? Okay. Shovels, seed starting, grow lights, gloves. Take your time. Like I said, take your time. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. The tools, like we're looking at, okay, something like hose. Those things are guaranteed for life. And I know my son came home one day upset because some lady came in and the handle on her Lee Valley shovel or rake that she had for 15 years had broken. And the person that was serving her asked her what happened and how did she taking care of it. And she said, well, I just leave it in the garden all the time. And so my son was upset. He said, obviously, if you leave it out in the garden and it's a wooden handle, it's going to rot. It's wood. They still replaced it for free. Now, on the other hand, people have come in and said, this was a Lee Valley thing and it's broken and you need to give me a new one. And they've gone, we've never sold that before and we don't sell it now. So no, it's not our product. So they do bend over backwards to keep everybody happy. At least at the office that he worked with. But anyways, there you go. Take your time, enjoy it. I have one suggestion when it comes to tools. Back to my gorgeous face. Use the tool that works for you. Okay, my tenet is very much on you have to use a leaf rake to rake up the leaves. I hate leaf rakes. I can't stand them. I've never liked them. They're, as far as I'm concerned, they're a royal pain in the knees. They don't do what you think they're supposed to do. I prefer a gravel rake to rake up my leaves. It works for me. That's the important part. So as you're looking at these gardening things from Lee Valley, look at them and use the ones that you know work for you. My point here for Lee Valley is it's really good quality tools. Everything I've ever gotten out of Lee Valley, it's worth my money. Am I paying a little extra? Yeah, it's Lee Valley. But it lasts. It's fantastic. So I have no problems running down to Lee Valley and finding out and not finding out, but spending a little extra money. I know I'm going to be spending money going to Lee Valley. I know that. That's fine. I'm going to be getting quality that's going to last me. Now, I take better care of my tools than the lady my son was complaining about, but that's okay. All right, there you go. Business Thursday, Thursday's businesses. I'll come up with a name. But every Thursday, we'll have a Canadian business that will ship to you. Okay, that's the big thing. It's not a big corporation. I mean, obviously, Lee Valley is a corporation because it's got to protect its assets, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not a big corporation like Shell Canada or Sobeys or things like that. It's a smaller entrepreneur thing that started from the bottom up, like Egg Lace Farms and things like that. So that'll be on Thursdays. And I think I came up with Happy Days on Saturdays. Okay. So take care, guys. You have a really good day. We'll see you next time. Stay warm and cozy and don't get sick. Take care, guys.